The Bogey-Beast. There once was a poor old woman who was very, very cheerful. She lived in a little cottage all by herself and was barely able to make ends meet. But she didn't mind. She was smiling and cheerful as always. Now, one summer evening, as she was trotting along down the street full of smiles, a stranger ran out to her crying. "Miss, miss," he yelled. "My garden! The beast ravaged my garden! Please help!" But the old woman ignored the man and walked on, for she knew of this beast, the Bogey-Beast. It had tormented her village for years, first by luring in folks with promises of wealth, fame, or fortune, before using their selfish desires against them and driving them insane. She wanted nothing to do with the creature, so on she went down the street. But something caught her eye. It was a great big black pot laying in a ditch. "Goodness me!" she cried. "That would be just the very thing for me if I only had something to put in it. Now, who could have left it in the ditch?" She looked around and didn't see anybody nearby. "Maybe there's a hole in it," she went on, "and that's why it has been cast away. But it would make a perfect vase for a flower in my window. So I'll just take it home with me." And with that, she lifted the lid and looked inside. "Mercy me!" she cried. "It's full of gold pieces! What great luck!" And so it was, full of glimmering gold coins. "Wow, I do feel rich! I feel very rich!" After she had said this many times, she began to wonder how she was going to get her treasure home. It was too heavy for her to carry. "It will soon be dark," she said to herself as she trotted along. "This isn't my favor. The neighbors will not see what I'm bringing home, and I will have this all to myself. Maybe I'll buy a big house and just sit by the fire with a cup of tea." The possibilities were endless, and by this time she was a bit tired of dragging such a heavy weight. Stopping to rest a while, she turned to look at her treasure. And wow! It wasn't a pot of gold at all. It was nothing but a lump of silver. She stared at it and rubbed her eyes and stared at it again. "Well, I never," she said, "and me thinking it was a pot of gold. I must have been dreaming, but I'm still so lucky. Silver is far less trouble, easier to spend, and not so easily stolen. Those gold pieces would have been the death of me, and with this great lump of silver." So on she trotted, full of plans as to how she would spend her slightly less riches, until once more she stopped to rest and looked around to see if her treasure was safe. And this time she saw nothing but a big stone. "Well, I never!" she cried, full of smiles. "And to think I mistook it for silver! I must have been dreaming. But I'm lucky indeed, and have been wanting a stone to hold my gate open. It's a change for the better. It's a fine thing to have good luck." So, all in a hurry to see how the stone would keep the gate open, she trotted off down the hill until she came to her own cottage. She unlatched the gate and then turned to grab the stone. Why! It was still a stone, sure enough. She bent down to pick it up when... Oh my! All of a sudden it gave a jump, a squeal, and in one moment was as big as a horse. Then it let down 4 great scrawny legs, and threw out 2 long ears, grew a great long tail, and ramped off, kicking and squealing as it yelled, "You win! You win! I can't take it anymore! I tried to drive you mad, but you keep seeing the good in every bad situation I put you in." The old woman stared at it till it was fairly out of sight. Then she burst out laughing. "Well," she chuckled, "I'm in luck. Quite one of the luckiest. Fancy me seeing the Bogey-Beast all to myself. My goodness, I do feel lucky." She looked into the pot she had carried all this way, and inside it was filled to the brim of glimmering gold coins.